Welcome back, everyone, to Reinforce 2023. We are here in Anaheim, and I have some breaking news. I'm still your favorite neighborhood-friendly senior security solution architect that focuses on threat detection and incident response, Kyle Dickinson. And I have my esteemed and beloved host with me, Jasmine.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Kyles. I am Kyle's co-host. So you are lucky to be joined today by
The consortium of Kyles.
Kyles are here.
Yeah. And I have been told by a birdie that we're going to be talking about something that is very cool about analytics, security lake, OpenSearch.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I don't mean to point fingers, but I think there's someone sitting next to you.
Is there? You? Oh, we have someone else here.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah? Awesome. Tell us who you are and what you're going to do today.
Sure. I'm Ryan Malecki. I'm a solution architect here at AWS. And today I'm going to be talking about OpenSearch, the advanced security analytics feature that we've recently released, as well as how that interacts with Security Lake, one of our newest and really exciting services.
And you're going to be showing us a demo too, right? I love demos. I'm a huge fan of demos. Show me the demos all day. I'm with you.
Awesome.
I'll be your biggest fan.
I'm really excited you're here.
So,
no pressure.
When we hear the term security analytics, I mean, that's almost like saying, paint me a picture of love. It's always open to interpretation, right? What are we talking about when it's security analytics in this context?
Yeah. So today we're really talking about taking the various log streams that customers have. Those could be from AWS sources, things like CloudTrail or your VPC flow logs, or they could be from third parties and really combining them. And
Security Lake takes care of a lot of that plumbing for customers now, because I know we're focusing on Security Lake and security analytics here too. And so we have the ability to say, logging sources that are available with AWS, CloudTrail, VPC flow logs, CloudWatch logs, third-party security provider log, you name it. It's getting piped in, and then we're building a search functionality and analytics, providing insight to the data. And what does it all mean, So what does this integration allow customers to do?
Sure. So with Security Lake, you're collecting data from all over, you're normalizing it. This integration is helping move data from Security Lake into OpenSearch, where customers can have context added. So we have a set of rules that allow you to operate on your log streams to detect things that you may want to follow up on. And then send alerts based on those. So really adding context to those logs. And
when it comes to setting up alerts, I know sometimes customers, they may not necessarily have the time, or they might not have the head count to say, hey, set up all of these alerts. So we're giving them a starting point for that too, right?
Yeah. With OpenSearch, we're building on top of a community-driven set of rules from Sigma, and giving customers an easy way to stand up those rules and plumb them into notifications. So customers don't have to start from scratch. They don't have to stand up a big team that already has expertise. They have a really great jumping off point, and then they can go on to customize the rules and the notifications they're receiving.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the common scenarios that customers are sharing about how they are utilizing security analytics and OpenSearch.
Sure. So lots of times we see that customers either have a dedicated team that's focused on security in their organization, and historically those teams spent a lot of time doing plumbing, moving data from one place to another. We now see that with Security Lake and OpenSearch, that they're able to focus more on understanding what's happening and really providing value to their organization. It's a classic AWS taking care of the undifferentiated heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a visual person. I love demos. Do you mind showing us what it is you're talking about?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So I'm first going to start in Security Lake. So
that's a great start.
It just got here too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So just went GA on May 30th. So really new. Don't ask me to show the historical data in this setup. Security Lake lets customers get started and connect to all of the various AWS security logs in their entire organization. So with a couple clicks, you're up and running, ingesting from a range of sources. So we have things like CloudTrail, Lambda data events, S3, flow logs, etc. And I'm able to plumb in many accounts. So here I have a few hundred account cross-region combinations, and this took me a couple minutes to get set up. Now, the data is being taken. It's being normalized into the OCSF format. That's an open standard that Amazon, in collaboration with many vendors in the security space, developed to have a common language for everyone to be speaking. And then the logs are saved to S3. So here I have those data sources I just showed. I can click in case looking at objects in S3 is the exciting part of the demo for you. You can see the data is flowing. And you can also query the data. So here I'm going to pull up Athena and just look at a few of the events that I've run recently. And these are really long events, so it's not showing up super well. But you can see here's the kind of raw data that's being captured in Security Lake. Now, this is really useful for doing detailed investigations. This is really useful for if you get into the machine learning game. But it's not super actionable as a human. I don't know what to do when I look at this particular record.
And as an incident responder myself, this would be like my bread and butter, like my world. But if I wanted to show those that are responsible for like the security posture of our organization, they're probably not going to want to see this raw data. They'll look at me like I have a third eye and be like, Kyle, why are you showing me this? Show me something that's actionable.
Yep, absolutely. And that's where OpenSearch comes in. So Security Lake, in addition to collecting the data, has a way to send data out. So Security Lake is actually sending out a notification every time a new set of logs arrives. And you can set up an integration to push those logs automatically into OpenSearch.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up from there. So here's an example of an environment that's set up, ready to go. It's showing findings over time, so you can see what's going on in your environment. What are some of the alerts? What are some of the findings that are happening? Lots of really pretty graphs to help understand what's going on in your environment.
Well, not only pretty, but I mean, this is also telling us that most of our findings are from a particular rule name. So if we look at, tuning our alerts or how we're going to receive information, if we have something that's firing off too much, but it's because of maybe, the alert's not contextually aware that it doesn't really apply to our environment, it helps us also with our tuning. Mm-hmm. So we can have higher fidelity, low noise to signal ratio,
Yep, absolutely. And you're able to drill down into those findings. So what are the specific types of findings that are going on? Where are those coming from? I can look into details and even drill down all the way to the specific log line. So going back to that data you saw in Athena, but this time it's pointing out here. It's this one specific entry that you need to start looking at.
So we can go from nice, organized visuals to the raw nitty-gritty if we needed to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And why is that important?
So having...
It's like, I can't believe she asked me this question. Why would you do that?
Why is this important?
It's important because having this data is really the jumping off point for the investigations you're going to be doing. it's not just having these visuals, but it's the actions you take next. Is there somebody who needs to rotate their password? Is there a machine on your network you need to isolate? It's really making sure that you can, as quickly as possible, move from the finding into some action to help make sure you're securing your organization.
Yeah, it sounds like it can be good for prevention, right? You want to catch something and be able to action it before there's this huge security event, right? Where you're trying to scramble and fix things after they happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like I always like try to prevent my daughter from spilling the milk before it happens, instead of just being reactionary and saying, "No, it's spilled. Now I got to clean it up." It's like, no, let's keep the milk on the table, please.
Absolutely. So I can jump into a little more detail on what setting up OpenSearch looks like.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
The security module, and this is the security analytics module. This is a new module that the OpenSearch recently released.
I was going to say a little less than a month ago, if I recall.
Yep. And out of the box, it's available on both the community-driven OpenSearch and our managed OpenSearch offering. So you can go in, and if you go to the very top level, I will drill down. You're able to select the security analytics plugin here. You're able to, with the security analytics plugin, you'll have your logs that are already being fed into the OpenSearch instance. You'll set up detectors. These detectors are joining the log stream that you're interested in to a set of rules. So I can create a detector, give it a name, a description. I'll select a log stream that's available, and then I tell it what kind of logs those are. With the security analytics plugin, we're helping map fields that are present in log streams to the fields that the various rules expect. So let's say I want to look at CloudTrail logs. And out of the box, I have a number of rules that are already set up and associated with this detector. So doing things like looking for important guard duty changes or use of root credentials. All of those really important things that you want to keep an eye on.
And are these predefined over here?
Yes, these are predefined. So we can jump into, I'll actually jump back a step or two and look at the rules. So these are rules that are available from the open source community, a wide range for different use cases. If we want to look at, say, S3 related rules, we can see various rules that are relevant to S3. And you can drill in. You can see the details of what's going on here, even details on how to react when these rules are triggered. I can see it in YAML form. And let's say for my organization, I know that these are some important API calls to watch out for, but I might also want to look out for some additional things. So I could create a new rule and go in and say, if somebody turns on, calls delete block public access, hopefully I spelled that right, I'm able to go through and modify these rules quickly to meet my organization standards. So it's not that here's the set of rules, this is all you can do. You have the flexibility to come in and tweak these rules to really fit your environment, your organization.
And as you should, but having that flexibility to easily change that so it reflects your environment. I mean, you know your environment better than anyone else would, so you're able to add context to alerts, tune them, make them more applicable and actionable for your environment. But it's great because also, just looking back at the rules, these aren't just for AWS like log sources. Like I even saw a rule for Windows, like system logs.
Yep, Windows system logs, DNS, lots of different use cases for different types of logs.
See, that's super. Now, where can someone read more about this?
So, few places to get started. We have a blog post. I believe that blog post will be shared in the links provided here. Also, a great place to get started is the OpenSearch documentation. The OpenSearch documentation is honestly one of my favorite documentation sets. There's a really great team of technical writers who are supporting that. So super friendly, super easy to get started with.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan, so much for your time. It was lovely to learn much about this new feature release, especially pairing with Security Lake. So thank you for your time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Stay tuned because we got some more awesome stuff coming back. Reinforce 2023 here in Anaheim. Toodaloo.